In the core of the Velthray Empire, a creature waits that has never tasted defeat, the Vel Korak. 800 years of arena combat, and a confirmed kill count of 113 trained warriors. Here, whole civilizations are judged by the fury of this beast alone.
Let the newest claimant to the stars prove itself. Send a champion, Earth, or face the consequences. Every champion brought before the Velkorak has been given the same chance. Everyone lies dead. Champion selected, Tyler McCabe. Professional bull rider, Stephenville, Texas. What is this mockery? They send a rider of beasts from some primitive arena. Does Earth wish to insult us?
The Velthray counselors exchange glances, some amused, some offended. Earth's reply is either madness or a terrible misunderstanding. The creature's runes glow brighter, sensing bloodshed to come. It does not know that Earth has sent a man who rides for a living, not a soldier. The question that now hangs in the air: will Tyler McCabe be one more name on that list, or something else entirely? On Earth, the Velthray challenge landed not as a threat, but as the ultimate rope. A beast no one had ever ridden.
They want a champion. We don't have gladiators. We have a guy from Stephenville who stays on for 8 seconds.
2,400 times, Tyler McCabe had heard the chute bang open. The only difference now was the beast had 6 legs and a taste for warriors.
8 seconds. You hold on. You don't think.
His hands knew the language of leather and tension. The bull's power was a question, and his grip was the only answer.
Mouthguard for the teeth, rosary for whatever comes next.
He doesn't fight. He endures. Against a beast that has never lost a fight. Maybe that's the point.
The morning Tyler left, the Texas sky was awash of orange and dust. He didn't look back. Earth's final transmission to Velthray read: Tyler McCabe, professional bull rider, PBR circuit. Regulation ride, 8 seconds. The Velthray would soon learn that on Earth, victory isn't always measured in bodies. Sometimes, it's measured in heartbeats. On Velthray, every public screen displayed the Earth champion's name, looping the words like a funeral announcement.
Bring your families to the arena. Let them watch what happens when a beast saddler meets a true predator.
The human shuttle cut through the orange clouds of the capital, carrying 1 passenger and a worn canvas bag. Tyler McCabe stepped onto the landing pad. Stetson low, boots firm on alien stone. He did not hesitate.
Thick air, solid ground, same as a rodeo parking lot.
The honor guard, 8-foot-tall obsidian armored soldiers, closed around him, their gazes heavy as warhammers.
They want me to flinch. Don't work that way.
The walk to the holding cells was long, and every step was watched by 100 eyes that had seen 100 champions die.
Arena's just a chute. Beast's just a bull. 8 seconds.
When the cell doors sealed, the guards exchanged glances. They had never seen a prisoner look so at peace. Velthray custom granted each condemned champion access to the kill archives, a final lesson in futility, a parade of the dead.
The beast lunged left after every spin. Predictable. But its speed, that's a problem. I'll need a bucking chute and a timer. 8 seconds, visible from the floor.
Grant the creature his toys. Let him march to the Velkorak with his primitive little notions of control.
They think I am crazy. They've never watched a good rider find the rhythm, the moment the power becomes a dance.
The Velthray engineers, architects of grav drives and star forges, could barely comprehend the crude steel frame they were asked to build. When the lead engineer asked why he needed no saddle, the answer was simpler than any war strategy they'd ever studied.
A saddle is a cushion between you and the animal. I need to feel every twitch, every shift of muscle. That's how you stay on.
When the chute was rigged and the timer calibrated, Tyler nodded once and set his hat firmer on his head. There was no going back. The walk to the arena gate was short now, and the whole world was waiting to see if 8 seconds could rewrite 800 years. The Velthray Grand Arena held its breath, Outside, the colossus of black stone and war trophies promised a spectacle.
Just like the chute before a ride. Heart pounding, but your mind stays still.
Citizens of the Velthri Coalition, behold the Earth Champion, a rider of beasts sent to face the untamable.
The words dripped with contempt, amplified to every corner of the 80,000-strong assembly.
They think they've already won. Good.
The gate's hydraulics screamed, and the light poured in. Searing, absolute. 80,000 faces stared down. A mosaic of fangs, scales, and glowing eyes, all hungry for the end.
Release the Vel Korak.
The chains hissed and fell. The Vel Korak filled the arena with its rage, a sound that shook the bone. The stage was set for a slaughter, or something else entirely. The Vel Korak's charge was not a run. It was an avalanche of armored plate and killing intent.
Faster than any bull, but the rhythm is the same. An inhale between explosions.
Tyler broke sideways, away from the gate, toward the steel chute he'd insisted upon.
They built it for ritual. I built it to ride.
He hit the chute at a run, one boot on the lower rail, launching himself over the top and into empty air.
The beast is a bull. I've done this before.
Tyler landed on the beast's back, as if he'd been born there. Knees tight, one hand grabbing a ridge of obsidian armor, the other raised high for balance.
First touch tells it everything. I am not prey. I am not fighter. I am rider.
The Vel Korak, for the first time in 800 years, did not attack. It bucked, an explosion of six-legged fury that shook the arena floor.
8 seconds. Every heartbeat counts. Don't let go.
The beast's fury escalated, a tornado of dust and glowing runes that could snap a man in half.
Rhythm is hold, release, hold. Its power is a wave I've ridden 1,000 times.
The holographic timer blinked. 4.6 seconds. And the crowd's roar hit a wall of silence, row after row. The spectators dropped their fists, mouths agape, as if watching a ghost.
No other champion lasted beyond 3 seconds. This shouldn't be possible.
5 seconds. Halfway. This beast tires. I don't.
The timer ticked. 6.2, 6.4, each digit a death knell for 8 centuries of certainty.
The beast's fury is the same as any bull's. I just need to last 2 more. Breathe.
It tried to twist, to gore, but Tyler's grip shifted with each contortion, a rider 1 step ahead. 6.7 seconds. The impossible now looked inevitable, and High Arbiter Korvax knew it. The timer read 7.2 seconds. Every grain of sand was suspended in that moment.
Teeth to mouth guard. Eyes forward. Don't let the finish break your focus.
7.8 seconds. The final heartbeats were a countdown to the impossible. 8.0. The digit locked, glowing like a brand. Silence swallowed 80,000 voices. Tyler released. A push, a twist, and he was airborne. The beast's momentum, his escape.
Now tuck. Land like you've done 1,000 times.
He hit the sand in a crouch, one fist touching the ground, boots firm. The wind hadn't even settled.
Stayed on. Regulation ride. Thank you, Lord.
He rose to his full height, steady as a fence post, and stared at the timer. The arena, once a sea of noise, was a void, and the question was no longer if he'd die, but what the galaxy would do next. Tyler lowered his hand from the timer and brushed the sand from his shirt with 2 slow, practiced swipes.
Respect the animal. It gave everything it had.
He turned toward the Vel Korak, the beast still stamping in confusion, 100 yards away. He raised 2 fingers to the brim of his Stetson and tipped his hat, a gesture of pure, unhurried respect.
Good ride, big fella.
The Vel Korak halted its restless stomping, dragged a great furrow in the sand, and turned its massive head. For a long, breathless moment, the creature's multiple eyes just blinked. No rage, no hunger. Then, like a tired dog after a run, The Velkorak sank onto its hindquarters, front legs planted, armored plates relaxing. High Arbiter Korvax's ceremonial tablet slipped from his fingers, shattering on the dais. As the humans simply turned and walked toward the gate, a single shard glowed with the score, 8.0. The arena, frozen, had just witnessed the end of an era. As Tyler reached the gate, the council dais erupted. Korvax's voice, raw and unsteady, called for order.
This is not victory. The Earth creature did not fight. He rode. There is no precedent for this.
The ancient rulebook was summoned, its holographic pages materializing over the arena floor. Venerated in stone for 800 years, the text read aloud. The combatant must seek the death of the opponent. To not seek death is to forfeit.
He did not seek death, he sought time. The beast sought a fight and found none.
No champion had ever survived. No rule had ever been written for survival. The match was a void. The council chamber doors slammed open. Tyler was escorted in, still dusty, still calm, the 8.0 now blazing on every screen.
I held on for 8 seconds. That's all I came to do.
The elders stared at the human as if he'd spoken a new law of physics. The law of combat had been shredded by a man who simply refused to kill. They needed a ruling. But the rulebook offered none. For the first time, the Velthray would have to decide what a champion even meant. An elder, voice ancient and cracked, demanded the human's contract. Paid by the second, it read.
Regulation ride is 8 seconds. My pay stops at 8.0. Always has.
The council chamber fell into a deeper silence. The concept of a sport where survival alone was victory had never been spoken here.
He was paid for 8 seconds. He fulfilled his contract. It was never a fight, it was a transaction.
I am a professional bull rider, sir. I ride bulls. This one just had a few more legs.
The word bull rider echoed in the chamber. The elders whispered, some outraged that combat had been profaned, others fascinated.
And if the timer had broken, if 8.0 never came,
then I'd hold on until I couldn't, but the beast would tire first. They always do.
That answer split the council. Half saw a loophole in the law. The other half saw a new law entirely. The vote on the match's outcome was called, but what they were really voting on was whether a man who dared to survive deserved to walk away. While the council debated, a handler sprinted onto the dais, whispering that the Velkorak refused its cage and was becoming violent. The council screens flickered to the arena feed. The Velkorak stood where it had sat, swatting away restraining drones, its runes flaring. 6 armored handlers tried to drive it toward the gate. It bellowed and dug in, refusing every command.
He ain't had anyone speak his language in 800 years. Only fighting. Now he's confused.
Korvax ordered Tyler, brought to the arena edge. The human went without hesitation. Led by 2 guards, Tyler stepped onto the sand again, alone. The Velkorak saw him and stopped its thrashing, multiple eyes blinking.
Easy. Big fella. You done good. Time to rest.
The Velkorak lowered its head, emitting a low, almost purr-like sound, and followed Tyler without a tether. The handlers stood frozen, not daring to move, as the man who had ridden the untamable led it into the dark tunnel. The council chamber was silent again. The beast's keeper was not Velthray. It was human, and that changed everything. The council reconvened, the air thick with something they had no name for. Doubt.
He makes a mockery of 8 centuries. Execute him and rid us of this shame. An elder roared, slamming a ceremonial staff. The human did not mock us. He faced the Velkorak and stood longer than any warrior. That is courage. The beast recognized him. It followed him like a clan bond. That means more than any rule. The law is clear. No kill is forfeit. The human admitted he did not seek death. He is void. The elder pointed at the ancient rulebook.
They're arguing about my life like it's a contract dispute, just like the PBR board.
The old law tested warriors. This human tested our law. If we kill him for surviving, then our law is a weakness, not a strength.
The chamber fractured. Half raged against the human, half stared inward, questioning centuries of ritual. A vote was called. Life or death for the Earth Rider. Tyler's name hung in the air like a prayer. The count began, and for the first time, a human's heartbeat was measured against the weight of an empire. The vote deadlocked. The elders, unable to condemn or absolve, forged a compromise. The human would be given a choice. The terms appeared. Prove your worth by traditional combat to the death, or be expelled from Velthray, forever banished.
I am a rider, not a killer. You don't put a bull down because the ride's over. That ain't what I do. That beast trusts me now. I ain't gonna break that trust for your tradition. I'd rather be banished.
The council chamber recoiled. To reject the chance for honor was unthinkable. To choose banishment for a beast was madness.
They want me to choose between my code and being here. Same choice every bull rider makes.
Now the burden shifted. The council had to accept his refusal and let him walk or execute a man for not murdering.
He forces us to choose between our law and our honor. No outsider has ever done that.
The old laws offered no guidance for a man who held life higher than victory. The council's soul was on trial. Tyler's gamble was simple. He believed mercy would be understood. The alien council had to decide if he was right. One elder rose, voice ancient but softened. Perhaps the old ways have become a cage, not a forge. Another nodded, eyes on the screen still showing the Velkorak following the human. The beast has chosen. Are we to tell it chose wrong?
The match shall be ruled a draw. From this day, the arena will recognize a new category, a contest of courage without requirement of death.
The elders argued back and forth. This violates the spirit, countered by today. We saw life prove more. A new vote was called. Not life or death, but tradition or evolution. The tally shifted. One by one, the green symbols for change outnumbered the red. By a slim margin, the ancient law was declared insufficient. A new amendment was approved.
We have honored our ancestors by growing beyond their wisdom.
They did the right thing. Now maybe folks back home will believe me.
The arena rules, carved in stone for 8 centuries, were about to bear new words. But Tyler McCabe's name was already etched elsewhere, in the trust of a monster. In the arena's shadow, a stone scribe ignited a laser chisel. The ancient wall shuddered as new law was carved. The inscription glowed. No human-style engagement permitted. Courage without killing is recognized.
You are free to leave, Tyler McCabe. No harm will come to you. You have our thanks for revealing our blindness.
He sounds almost sorry. War culture ain't easy to change, but they're trying.
We offer you a permanent contract as a champion of the arena, with wealth and status. Stay and enrich our culture.
I appreciate the offer, but I've got regular job back home. Frontier Days finals in Cheyenne next month.
He declines a fortune for a small-town contest. This human is immune to our offers.
But I'd like to visit the big fella. Maybe twice a year, if that's all right.
Korvax agreed, and the Velthrai Council decreed the Velkorak would live in a sanctuary, never to face death again. Tyler's shuttle was prepared for the journey home. The beast that had killed 113 warriors now had a rider who just wanted to be friends. In the sanctuary pen, the Velkorak found no enemy to fight, no foe to survive. It paced endlessly, the glowing runes along its flanks fading to a dull amber. Handlers brought fresh water and meat. It turned away, growling low, and refused to eat. When a recording of Tyler's voice echoed through the pen, it stopped, looked around, then resumed its circle.
The beast is dying of an old wound we never saw, loneliness.
At night, it lay on its side, 6 legs limp, breath shallow, eyes open, and staring. The sanctuary keepers sent urgent reports. The Vel Korak had not eaten in 3 days. Korvax read the report and turned to the new law on the wall. They had given it life without purpose. A message was dispatched to Earth. Tyler McCabe, the Vel Korak needs you in the sanctuary. The Vel Korak lifted its massive head toward the gate, as if it knew who was coming. Tyler McCabe stepped through the sanctuary gate, duffel bag on his shoulder, hat pulled low. The Vel Korak froze. Its dull amber runes ignited bright blue, and a low rumble that was not a growl rolled through the air.
Hey there, big fella. Miss me?
The Vel Korak lowered its massive head, pressing its armored snout into Tyler's palm. A deep, resonant purr vibrated through the ground, the sound of a creature finally at peace.
No shoot, no timer. Just you and me, friend.
Tyler climbed onto the beast's back, settled between the glowing spines, and the Vel Korak moved into a gentle, rolling gait. They rode without urgency. 2 species who had fought to understand each other, now moving as one.
This is what our arena never made. Trust.
When the ride ended, Tyler tipped his hat to the beast, now sprawled in the grass, and he knew he would return.
The council has decreed this sanctuary a permanent monument. It shall stand as a reminder that courage has many forms.
It's not about fighting, it's about understanding. He just needed someone who didn't come at him with a weapon.
The ancient stone on the arena wall now bore an additional line: the Vel Korak Sanctuary, a place of peace, not combat. The arena that once thirsted for death now drew visitors to watch the Vel Korak rest in the sun. A different kind of spectacle.
Twice a year, then, we will arrange your transport. The Vel Korak will know when to expect you.
Twice a year. Same as coming home to the ranch.
Velthray scholars began to study human rodeo culture, fascinated by a sport where survival, not killing, was the prize. The image of a man in a white hat, one hand raised, became the unofficial emblem of interspecies cooperation. Children of Velthry and Earth would one day visit that sanctuary and hear the story of the bull rider who taught a monster to trust. And every time Tyler returned, he walked through that gate, hat in hand, and the Vel Korak would rise to greet him. 2 champions, bound by respect. Under the lights of frontier days in Cheyenne, Tyler McCabe settled onto the chute, the bull's weight shifting beneath him like a promise.
8 seconds here, 8 seconds there. Same dance, different floor.
The gate banged open, and the world narrowed to a single rhythm: the bull's fury and Tyler's grip. He held on through 7 violent seconds. Then the buzzer cried 8.0, and he launched into the dirt, boots hitting solid ground.
8 seconds. Some things don't change. Good.
He brushed his shirt, and, as he always did, tipped his hat to the bull. But tonight, when he raised his eyes past the stands, he saw the stars. The same stars that hung over the Vel Korak's sanctuary.
Somewhere out there, a big fella is waiting. Hope he's eating well tonight.
He did not need to prove anything else tonight. The ride was done, and he was going home. Twice a year, he would return to a different gate, and the beast that once killed for sport would remember only his voice. Another half-year gone, and Tyler McCabe walked through the sanctuary gate like it was his own barn door.
Hey there, big fella. Brought you something from Earth.
The beast took the offering gently, then pressed its armored snout into Tyler's hand. Tyler scratched its armored jaw, and the Vel Korak leaned into his touch like a barn cat, a deep purr filling the air.
He ain't no monster, just needed someone who didn't try to kill him.
High Arbiter Korvax, standing a few yards back, heard those words and understood their weight.
A truth so simple, we missed it entirely. The beast was never a monster. We made it one.
Tyler tipped his hat to the beast, and the beast lowered its head in return. A a silent understanding older than any law. They spent the afternoon under the old tree, the human leaning against the beast's warm side, two champions bound by trust. When the sun sank lower, Tyler rose, patted the beast's neck once, and walked toward the gate without looking back. The sun sank low, painting the sanctuary in a wash of gold and violet.
Home's always where you leave a piece of yourself. Guess I left a piece here.
He took off his hat and held it over his heart, a wordless promise to the beast that waited. The Velkorak lowered its massive head, a single slow blink.
See you soon, partner.
He stepped through the gate, but did not close it. Some doors are meant to stay open. In a galaxy that measured courage by bodies, one man proved that 8 seconds of holding on could change more than any weapon. The Velkorak remained at the edge of the meadow, watching the stars appear, a gentle purr rumbling through the ground. Tyler McCabe rode for only 8 seconds. And the universe would never forget, a real champion doesn't have to kill. Sometimes, a real champion just has to hold on.